So this one is very similar to number 4 in that I can't express 3 and 6 with the same base. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the natural log of both sides. Now remember, the reason why we're taking the natural log of both sides is to get those variables out of the exponent. We have a power property that says exponents can go in front of the logarithm. So this will become 4x minus 2 natural log of 3 and x natural log of 6. So now we're just going to distribute our natural log of 3 in. Basically, you're just going to tack it on to the back end. Don't do any like multiplying or anything. It just kind of is attached to the back there. Okay, now everything with an x, we're going to put on the same side. So what I'm going to do, just so I don't have a ton of negatives, is I am going to move this thing that doesn't have an x over to the other side, because that'll make it positive. And I'm going to move this over to this side to join the other x. So if we put that all together, here's what we got. We have 4 natural log of 3. Now, when this comes over to the other side, we subtracted it over. That's why it's going to have a minus in front of it, okay? And then when we moved this 2 natural log of 3 over to the other side, we had to add it over. So that's why it turns out to being positive. You didn't have to do it that way, by the way, but I just felt like that's going to give us the cleanest answer in the end because we'll have the least amount of negatives. Now I'm looking at the fact that these both have x's. So I'm going to factor that x out of each term. So you'll see that the x is gone from each of those. Then we're on our last part, which is division. To get that x by itself, with the x isolated, we just have to divide by 4 natural log of 3 minus natural log of 6. Now it looks like they're wanting us to round to 3 decimal places. So I'm going to put this into my calculator. So we have 2 natural log of 3. If you don't have the Casio, you have like the Texas Instruments, making sure you put parentheses to finish off your natural logs and making sure you put parentheses around the entire denominator is key. A lot of students get it wrong because they just type this bottom in and they don't wrap the whole thing in parentheses. When you hit the divided by, it's only going to divide by this if you don't wrap it in parentheses. This is part of the reason why I like the Casio. It's just a little bit more user-friendly. But for those of you that don't have it, I want to make sure you're successful too. So parentheses around the entire denominator if you have another calculator besides this one. So if we round to 3 decimal places, 0.844, and there's a 2 in the 4th decimal place, so we're going to keep it 0.844. We're not going to round it up. So this is going to be 0.844 approximately. Let's go put that in, make sure we didn't make some little mistake that I like to make. Let's see here. 0.844. All right. This is a tough one. This distributing always gets people and having to factor out the x. Pretty tough. One of the higher level problems from these solving a natural log equation one. All right, you guys. Hopefully this helps you out though, and you're successful on number 6. Take care.